Hi, I'm Kerry, Sonubaits consultant, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. What do I do outside of fishing? Well, since having two young kids, that's taken up most of my time. I would say that basically running them around is become a hobby in itself. I love to play golf. I've played a lot of golf, but then obviously when you're doing fishing or fishing related things all the time, you become obsessed with that. So I would say outside of fishing, what is work, you know, I have a few things that I do, but nothing particularly that I'm going to class as an exciting hobby. Describing my angling style, or the sort of angler I am, what an interesting question. I always think I class myself as an all-round match angler. I am currently put a lot of time and effort into feeder fishing because I'm part of the England feeder team, and being part of that team means I think you should be fully committed to bettering yourself at that style of fishing. However, I've fished 6 or 7 World Club Championships of Barnsley in the last 10 or 12 years, so that's pole fishing, so I like to keep on top of my pole fishing, plus all the other team matches, and I have a go at an odd big qualifier when it comes up as well, qualifying for some of the bigger money commercial finals. So because I've got the time to spend up fishing and I work within the fishing industry, I believe it gives me an opportunity to do a bit of everything. So I will always class myself as an all-round match angler. My first ever match win. Now, that's an interesting one. £99, 14 ounces, tight scalesman. Came at Colton Lake in Norfolk, which is part of the Barford Lakes complex. Long while ago now, in the 90s, and it was on cat meat, short. And it was quite controversial actually at the time, because we started using cat meat in gravy, which wasn't the done thing, it was always in jelly, and I just had this big like bucket, if you like, of this cat meat in gravy, and I was throwing it in, and ground bait wasn't allowed at the time, so they thought it was some sort of ground bait. So there was a steward's inquiry until I opened my bucket to show this sloppy cat meat, horrible cat meat. So that was a good time, because as a young angler it was very hard to win. You know, there wasn't the sort of information available, and I sort of stumbled across a bait that was fantastic and won quite a lot of matches in a sort of 6-month period, which catapulted me on to then go and learn a lot more about fishing, really. So yeah, an interesting time in the old cat meat. My biggest ever match weight is 513 pounds from Cobhouse Fishery. I'm very confident that will remain the record there for all time, because it's not the same stock of fish anymore. Beautiful place that it is. That was on a big event as well, the Match Fishing Cup semi-final. An astonishing day's fishing where everything was right, warm, overcast, a venue with a lot of carp, and I caught 210 carp for £513 in 5 hours. So a fantastic achievement. I've never actually had a 400 or a 300 weight, but I have had a 500. So very tiring day. My all-time favourite venue, it's hard to say really. I always have a place in my heart for going back to the River Yare in Norfolk, because I spent a lot of time there when I was younger. I think I'd have to pick a river, and I would probably say there, but I'm falling more and more in love with the Trent every year. I absolutely love it on the Trent. And the Stainey at Thorn, I spent so much time there in the winters, and it taught me so much about fishing that I can't not include that when I talk about my favourite venue, even though it isn't the most spectacular place on the planet. As a match fishing venue, I don't really think they came much better than that, to be fair. My greatest angling achievement. I was lucky enough to fish for England I fished for England in the European Championships and World Championships, and that is by far my greatest achievement in angling. To sit down on the box to represent your country is amazing. So I find it hard to look past that. We won a European gold medal, but I suppose you've got to put something individually in there as well. I was lucky enough to win Feeder Masters and Feeder King within the space of 10 days, the two feeder competitions in the UK, and I won them both in the space of 10 days, like I say, and that to me was such a big achievement because I'd switched my fishing to focus on feeder fishing, and I'd been doing fantastically well, and to win those two was like, wow, I've arrived sort of. So, that was an amazing achievement for sure. So I've got to pick 3 products from Sonubaits I wouldn't be without. F1 Dark, it's like my regular bait order. It's the base of all my ground baits. It's probably our finest, softest ground bait, but I absolutely love it. I think it's a fantastic ground bait. And I struggle to fish without like some form of wafters these days. I think they're a fantastic hook bait, either shallow, on the deck. I don't really have a particular favourite amongst them. I do like the squid ones because I love the deep pink and the white, so it gives me a really good alternative. So I love that as a product. And then I would probably say one of the So Natural ground baits. I tend to use 2. I use the black roach and I use the sweet skimmer, and I'm not going to choose. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to say I like them both combined together. That to me is the ultimate natural venue mix. I just don't think it can be beaten. If you've got more roach to target, you use more of the roach. If it's more bream and skimmers, you use more of the skimmers. It's such an easy combination that I've been using for a couple of years now, and now sweet skimmer's finally here. It's for everyone to use. I think it's going to be mega popular. So yeah, they're probably my chosen baits, I would say. My ultimate team of 4. I think I can pick any anglers, I think, from any era. We've got some great anglers. I mean, there's so many people out there that are spectacularly good. I'm near Des today. I'll definitely include Des. He's I mean, as a match angler, I don't think there's, certainly domestically in the UK, I don't think there's anyone much better than Des. He's fantastic, so I definitely have him in my team. Got Matt Godfrey. I couldn't have a team of 4 without including Matt Godfrey. I've been everywhere in the world with him in a team. He's an amazing angler, can do anything. I don't think you could ever have a team without having Alan Scott on in it. I think he's just too good. He's the greatest of all time, statistically, and in my opinion, well deserved. So he's definitely in my 4. And I suppose if you're picking a team of 4, you've got to have yourself in it, haven't you? So even if I was carrying them, they were all carrying me, I think those 3 are good enough to carry my team of 4. What a team that would be. I'd enjoy that. I can only fish for one species using one tactic. I actually heard Tommy say recently that he'd give up if he had to do that, and I think I'd agree with that. I'd probably have to give up if I could only fish one thing. But I would probably say the happiest I've ever been when I was fishing was sat in Ireland in the wind and the rain on a great big lock, and I was catching hybrids and odd skimmers on a feeder about 45 metres, and I was using braid with a shock leader, and I could feel every kick, every fin knock, and I was totally in tune with what was going on. And if you could take me back to that moment, I'd be very, very happy. So that, I'm gonna say, that style of fishing, when you're getting bites on a feeder, regular bites, 30, 40, 50 fish in a day, that is pretty much unbeatable when you're fishing with braid and stuff like that. It's an amazing feeling. Goals for the future. Fishing wise, I mean, I'm very lucky. I'm currently sort of achieving everything that I sort of set out to be in part of the England team. I want to maintain that as long as possible. You know, I would love to win a world gold medal with the England team. I would say, you know, I've been lucky enough to win world clubs with Barnsley and the Europeans as well. So if we could win a world gold, that would complete the set. I'd be more than happy with that, with a team, that is. And then anything else that comes, that'd be brilliant. So I'm definitely going to keep working at achieving that goal and then enjoying my fishing as a result of it.